All set.
Call to order the July 25th City of Hammond Board of Public Works and Safety meeting. Roll call. Here.
Here.
Item 4, approval of the minutes of the meeting of July 11th.
I'd like to recommend that we defer the minutes.
Concur. Item 8, bid opening for the 3rd District Street project on Willer Road from Field to Noble.
We have 4 bids. First bid is from Walsh & Kelly Incorporated, 1700 East Main Street, Griffith, Indiana. They have their bid bond. They have their Form 96, and they have their non-inclusion affidavit signed. Their bid is $743,313.29. Next bid is from Reith Riley Construction Company Incorporated, 7500 West 5th Avenue, Gary, Indiana. They have their Form 96, they have their bid bond, and they have their non-inclusion affidavit signed. Their bid is $758,808.87. Next bid's from Grimmer Construction Company Incorporated, 2619 Main Street, Highland, Indiana. They have their bid bond. They have their Form 96 filled out. And they have their non-inclusion affidavit signed. Their bid is $769,721.53. Final bid is from Hassey Construction Company Incorporated, Lincoln and Plummer Avenue, Calumet City, Illinois. They have their bid bond. They have their Form 96, and they have their non-inclusion affidavit signed. Their bid is $789,700. I'd like to make a motion these be referred to the consulting engineer for tabulation and recommendation.
Item B, we have a structural analysis report from Seaman Engineering indicating that the cell tower at the Hammond Police Department is capable of maintaining additional cellular antennas on it. Is there a recommendation to accept the analysis?
Yeah, I spoke to the engineer because there were some concern that all the information wasn't there. She told me that they got all the information and that basically Verizon was changing out equipment and there was only a slight change in the loadings and that the tower was capable of handling it. So I'd like to recommend that we approve the work that Verizon is going to perform on the tower.
I concur. Item C, we have correspondence from BP Pipelines requesting the closure of Hump Road.
BP has a 14-inch pipeline under the parkway on Hump Road. An adjacent property owner has constructed a stone driveway over it. BP has concerns that this may create a problem for that pipeline, so they've asked us to close it. I've checked with all the other property owners. Nobody has an issue with this closure. We don't know exactly how long it's going to be right now. It may be as little as 3 days, maybe as long as a week and a half. They're going to expose their pipeline, examine it, and then determine how they're going to protect it. So I'd like to make a motion that we approve the closure of Hump Road for BP's work.
Item D, we have a request from Earth Exploration, requesting permission to perform analysis along Grand Cal.
Yeah, they're going to be doing work on Homan Avenue. The county is going to replace the culvert structure there probably early next spring, and they're going to do some soil testing, so I'll recommend that we approve the work on Homan Avenue.
Item E, we have a revocation hearing on Star Foods. Does anybody appear for Star Foods?
Are they properly notified?
Do you have any correspondence with Star Foods, Ms. Cantar?
No, I don't. I was told somebody was going to be here for it, so I'm surprised that nobody's here. I don't know, maybe we could pass this to the end of the agenda, because I do have my officers on standby at the police department.
Very good. Item G, F, a request for rental registration hearings at 7230 McCook, Murray, and 169th Street.
I'd like to recommend that we approve the rental registration hearings. When do you want to schedule?
Your recommendation?
August 22nd.
I concur. Item G, Ms. Brown requests a continuance of her rental registration hearing.
You know what the address of that property is?
Mr. President, I believe that involves a,
584
removal of a couple of apartments, being that it's a notice of violation.
No, 584 Sibley.
Step up to the microphone. Who are you?
I'm her husband.
Okay.
It was last week, the board approved the removal of 2 units in this property. And my understanding is that the claim was improper service, no service. My understanding that's what they were requesting the continuance.
You said they didn't receive the notice?
We were out of town.
So when do you want to have the hearing?
It's whatever's convenient.
Well, it was convenient to have it today. You're not prepared?
I didn't even know if they would give it to me today, so
We're going to give it to.
how about the 18th again?
2 weeks? I'll recommend that we reset the hearing for 2 weeks, which is when? August 15th?
The 15th? What day is that?
It's a Thursday. We always meet on Thursday at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Fine.
So you'll be back?
Yes.
Okay.
Concur. Item H, we have a rental registration hearing for the property at 1034 Moss.
Good morning. I wanted to have it waived. It was under contract with Macaulay to be sold at that time, and the deal fell through. So I'm just requesting that we pay the usual of, I think it's $180, and I have never been late before.
You're the property owner?
Yes, I am.
How many units is this, Ms. Aaron?
It's 2. No, I've paid it all the time. It was my mom's home.
Does that mean
Yeah.
you paid it every year except for the
Yes.
because the house was under contract?
If I may, we get in this situation oftentimes, people get in a rental contract with someone that, it's agreement between them, but we recognize her as a property owner responsible for the property. Once that contract's recorded, we know that that person is a responsible person for the property. That's not, none of it's not registered, we have no idea that, no knowledge that she's entered into a rental contract. But we always request that that be recorded with Crown Point, not only for our information, but also for Crown Point's information, as far as who's responsible for the property. Understanding she's registered every year and has entered into this contract. Understanding we can relate, but I believe she should register for.
Okay, then, I'm gonna make a recommendation that we waive the late fee, just as long as you register now.
Excuse me, it wasn't a rent to own.
Do you have any paperwork?
I have the contracts right here.
Is that recorded with Crown Point?
No, this is just the purchase agreement that was made.
Right, but unless it's registered with Crown Point, is that person being, having responsibility for the property? We still recognize you as the owner. We don't have any knowledge of your contracts or agreements with the person that's in the property. So we still have you as the responsible person of the property with all our information that we have. Still is you as the responsible person.
Yeah, I was being responsible. I would have paid it. I
Right,
just,
and it's-
I thought it was gonna be sold and they walked out on several contracts.
So
Sorry about that.
recognition from the board, and I
Okay.
encourage that we don't, with the late people, we do have the register
Okay.
2013 at the regular rate.
Okay,
This is a 2-year?
yes it is.
The 2 unit.
30 days to register your unit at the regular rate. If you fail to do so within 30 days, our order will be vacated and the late fees will be assessed on your unit. Do you understand that?
I have 30 days to go and register them now. Can I go and register them right now?
You can register them right after the meeting. You'll receive
Okay.
a copy of our order.
Okay.
After your meeting, we'll get you paperwork.
Item I, 20 Walton.
Yes, good morning. I'm missing 2 or 3 years not paying registration fee. What happened, I really don't know. I've been paying all these years that I have the house. So I can pay whatever I'm missing, but if you please can waive that late fee, that's all.
How many units is this, one?
This property is a single-family home. It's a Section 8 property. She failed to register for 2010, 2011, and 2013, and the water's been in the owner's name since 1998. We did perform an inspection. I was going to speak with the owner in regards to the results of that. We just did it yesterday. Some significant electrical issues, but as far as we're concerned, I think the tenant said she was moving out. So it doesn't look like the fact that for the last 3 years it wasn't registered.
Either I did,
Rental or rent assistance for the 3 years that you didn't register.
yes. But not always on time, and she was always late. And not,
2010, 2011, and 2012.
yeah, 2013, I just paid. 2 months ago, I think.
Didn't you get a letter from the Hammond Housing Authority in December of 2010 saying that all units must be registered?
It's either sent on the address where the house is, because I don't live there. I never got it. But whenever I received something in the mail, I was always paying on time. I was never late or had anything, any issues.
Is this the only rental property that you own in
Yes.
Hammond?
Yes.
So the common theme we've had for properties that are, when they register 2008, whenever this property's like registered, if they list the house as their home or put the address, their address is the same address as the rental property, that's where it's gonna be sent to. We try to get the information from assessors and treasurers to send, that information. Obviously, that's why she's here, because we had to track that down, because it had to be registered. Part of the problem is getting this information so we can address these situations with them directly.
Where do you live? Do you live in Hammond?
I live with my son, no, in Dyer. Nothing was done intentionally. Maybe I just didn't change my address, but that was the problem. But now for 2013, I got it in Dyer. I just paid for that 2 months ago, I think.
I'd like to make a recommendation that you pay it up to where it should be paid and pay the penalty for 1 year.
Okay, okay.
Your recommendation is that she pay the regular rate of $80 for 2010, $80 for 2011, $80 for 2012, with one late fee of $500 being assessed for 2012? Is that your recommendation, Mr. Statney? Mr. Statney, I concur. Thank you. You'll have 30 days to register your units. If you fail to do so, our order will be vacated and late fees will be assessed for each of the 3 years you failed to
Okay.
register, okay?
Okay,
All right, thank you very much.
thank you.
Thank you.
Item J, 516 Kenwood.
What was the name again?
516 Kenwood. Mr.
That's Jose Garcia.
Garcia, this is your opportunity to explain to the board why you didn't register your rental units.
I forgot to register this year, but every year I've been registered. You can check my files. I have not missed a registration year. This year.
Single family?
Excuse me?
Is this a single unit?
No, it's not.
How many
It's
units?
a 4-unit. And I have a lot of problems because I have no tenancy. I haven't had no tenants for the past 3 months. So I'm a financial problem right now. I just barely got tenants in there. Got 2 tenants in there, that's it. I haven't had tenants for 3 months. So that's my problem.
Mr. Garcia, do you own any other property in the city of Hammond?
No, I don't.
This is the only building you rent?
Yes, sir. That's my problem because I have no financial pay to pay the registration now. I got two new tenants in there, and that hopefully I'll be able to pay the registration now. I haven't had tenants for 3 months. It's been empty for 3 months. So, yes, I do. One west. That's my problem. And I'm right now. I got cancer, so I'm
And
kind
you've always paid it in the past? This is the first time that you haven't paid it?
This is the first time. You could check my information. I have never missed payment and registration. All my registrations are up to code. I have not missed none, not one, because right now I'm becoming a financial problem. And I got cancer.
I'd like to make a motion that we waive the penalty if you pay the 3 rental registrations within 30 days.
Right, I got 2. Mine's I don't pay for mine. So
I thought there's 4
there's
total.
4 units. One's empty. I got 2 tenants.
Do you have any intention of renting that 3rd unit?
I'm working on it, but it hasn't been rented
Just
yet.
you register for this year, so we don't come back with a late. fee.
Sure, I could register that 3rd
You'll be
unit.
registering all 3 units.
No problem.
You also have to fill in an affidavit
Garcia-
if 1 unit is owner occupied.
Yeah,
Mr. Garcia,
sure.
the board has determined that we're going to waive your late fees for the registration of these units. You'll have 30 days to register your units. If you fail to do so in 30 days, our order will be vacated and late fees will be assessed on.
No problem. It's $80. $80 for each registration?
Yes.
I could do the 3, no problem.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm all set?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Thank you for your time.
6808 Huron.
Just register the 3 units.
Mr. President Kay?
6808 Huron?
Lyman, 6136 Lyman.
All right. 6136 Lyman.
Hi, Dana Duffley, owner, property 6136 Lyman. It's a rental registration. I showed up at court. Matt pulled my case, and I told him that I did pay for. Last year, my dad came in, paid it in full. Every year I've been paying. And this year I mailed it, and I called you guys actually to find out where's my stickers. And Kiki told me to fax something in. I faxed it in. That's how I got the court date. I explained it all to the letter I faxed in, I think, to Lynn, and then I explained it to Matt, and I'm like, okay, you don't have a check, and you don't have a registration form, and what do you need me to do?
So ma'am, you're saying you did mail it, they
Yes.
just didn't receive it?
Absolutely.
Mr. President, I'd make a recommendation, you're gonna have to cancel that check. Mr. President, I make a recommendation that we allow her to, we waive the late fee and allow her to re-register. She's just gonna have to stop payment on that check.
This is single unit?
No, no, it's 4 units.
Oh, 4 units.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll make a motion that we waive the late fees and that you register all 4 units within 30 days.
Okay, that's fine. Can I do that today? I've got to get back to work.
Yeah, you can go downstairs and do it. As soon as the meeting's over,
Item
we'll
L,
give you the order.
6808 Huron. 6808 Huron.
Mr. President, if no party appears, I would ask that the appeal be denied.
I'll make a motion that we deny the request.
I concur. Item M, 6931 Arizona.
Good morning. This is the property we came upon. We actually received a complaint that there were children sleeping in the basement. We set up an inspection with the owner. We did go there, and there is a basement bedroom. No property for us. Ceiling height does not meet code. There's actually like three or four sleeping stations down there.
Is this a separate unit, like an apartment?
It's a home. It's a home.
It's a rental home or it's owner?
It's owned by his mom, I believe, Gloria Irwin.
So the owner's living there, so it's not a rental property.
It's not a rental property.
What does the building department want to do on this?
We would like to have the basement bedroom removed, although there are sleeping stations down there, I think the importance of all this is that although an adult's down there and has better means to be able to get themselves out in case of a fire or emergency, we're also putting children down in the cellar that may not be as fortunate. It's a very unsafe situation.
Are there not enough bedrooms upstairs, or?
It's a 5-bedroom home.
It's a 5-bedroom home,
Yes.
not counting the basement?
No, that was even including the basement.
And how many people live there?
My mother purchased a home 30 years ago from Bob Ignis. There used to be a fire marshal, whatever. He had added on to the house. And I even received a letter a month and a half ago from Lake County inspectors. And I spoke to them. They said the basement was fine. We mostly use the basement for storage anyways. Everything that was down in that basement is still the same exact way as we bought the house.
We're not claiming that they created the space. What we're claiming is that it's an unsafe situation to have people sleeping in the cellar. Regardless of who owned it before or regardless of what county says, county's inspections are not as thorough or in regards to code compliance. The situation is unique in this is that it's owner occupied, or the mother owns a house. I think bottom line though is that it's still an unsafe situation, and especially for the kids.
Shouldn't be involved in it? Chris, I don't know if we should be involved in this as a, right?
Mr. President, the city really only regulates rental properties. If he wishes to place his own children in danger of burning to death in a fire, I suppose that's his business.
I mean, nobody sleeps down there.
We've got 3 sleeping stations in a bedroom. To say that no one's sleeping down there is against what you've been claiming all along.
Yeah, at one point we did have my brother when he was out of work and everything else. Right now I'm fighting with Social Security right now because I'm losing part of my neck bone and my back. And my mom is retired and she hardly can't move at all. That's why I'm here for her.
I'd ask the board to affirm the removal of the basement in the bedroom. or the bedroom in the basement, in the
I
cellar.
don't think we have authority to do that. Do you agree, Mr. President?
I mean, are we gonna walk into every owner-occupied single-family home and determine whether or not they're up to code? And if they're not up to code, are we going to request that this board expect owner-occupied residents to expend money to bring their house up to code immediately?
International Residential Code applies to if it's owner-occupied or rental property, and that's what we're enforcing here, is that
Then I think
the
we
building
should-
does not meet code.
And I think we should start with us,
Okay?
okay?
All right?
So, do we have an independent?
Am I
inspection
supposed to
that's going go
ignore,
through?
and not to get into tit for tat, am I supposed to ignore complaints when they come to us about a situation that's unsafe, especially when it's involving children?
On what authority did you enter this gentleman's house?
We got a complaint that the children were sleeping in the cellar. We called for an inspection, they allowed us to do the inspection, and that's what was established, that's when the pictures were taken.
I'm not comfortable as a city going into a resident's home, an owner-occupied home, and taking pictures of their house on a complaint. On a
They
complaint.
could
I don't think-
have refused the inspection. And then we would have authority, we would have.
Were you aware that you could have refused the
No,
inspection?
we were not.
No? Did they give you the impression that you didn't have the option to refuse the inspection? Did they ever
No.
tell you you could refuse
No.
the inspection?
Nope. I used to be a carpenter for over 25 years in Hammond. I have done several basements that are the same height and everything that our home is. I know several homes right now you can walk into to where basement ceilings are even lower, and there are people living in there.
I was one in yesterday with 5'5" ceiling. This is getting much against code, international residential code, as this property is. The minimums are set by international residential code, international code council, not by the code enforcement or inspections department. What is being enforced is the international residential code. The gentleman has built basement apartments, bedrooms in other places. I recommend that he reads the code book. There's no egress in this cellar for these kids or for firemen to get in.
Are there windows in this?
Yes, there's plenty of windows down in the basement.
They do not meet code for egress.
They're those little tiny ones?
No, they're not. They're glass block windows. And there is one window in the front and one window in the back for access to get on out.
As the board wishes,
I don't think we have authority to address it. So I'd like to make a motion that we not take any action on this.
I agree.
I'd just like to state that if they would have applied for a permit to create that bedroom, it would have been denied. We're
At
occupied
that
now.
point, we would have had the authority to walk into this man's house and start taking pictures and doing things.
Mr. President, that's my point. Did he get a permit?
Item N, hearing on property at 922 Summer.
This one could be dismissed. This has already been affirmed. They are cooperating.
I'll recommend that we dismiss it.
Item O, 39 to 41 Carroll.
Morning. Here on behalf of Wells Fargo. I believe this property is, I think, 3 units?
Correct.
4 units. The city essentially wants it converted back to single family. The lender has gotten a bid to do that. I have a copy. I don't know if you had any contact.
No, not yet.
So it needs to be approved by HUD. It's an FHA loan. So I simply need a little bit more time to see if they can.
But you are willing to convert it back?
As it's my understanding, yes. I'm gonna confirm that, but that's my understanding. That's why they got the bid.
So what do you need, 30 days to work it all out, or is it occupied now?
No, we took it back.
Okay.
Maybe continue with 60 days. Would be fine.
26?
That'd be fine.
26
That's
works.
fine.
I'll recommend that we grant 60 days and rehear it.
Thank you.
Item P, 4146 Cole.
I would like to submit the findings and orders for approval. The owner is cooperating, understands what the city's requesting in the removal of the 2 illegal units at this property. After speaking with him yesterday, he said that it was performed, however, we need to go in to do a reinspection to see what work was done because no permits were pulled for the actual removal, but they are complying, unfortunately, the wrong way.
Thank you.
We'll concur with that order.
Item Q, correspondence. Mr. Kearney regarding the tree at 936 Highland. Indicating that they're requesting a court order for emergency removal.
So we don't need to take any action on that.
Item R, we have an amusement device listing for 4536 Holman submitted for approval.
I'll recommend that we approve the one device.
I concur. Item S, we have correspondence from the Port Authority advising us of the Venetian night and requesting permission for a fireworks display.
I'll recommend that we approve both of those events.
I concur. Item T, we have correspondence from the Hammond Community Crime Watch inviting us to the National Night Out event. Add that to the record. They're asking for anything on it? No. Item U, we have correspondence from Councilman Higgs requesting certain properties be placed on the demolition list and inspected by code enforcement.
I'll recommend that we refer that to code enforcement.
I concur. Item B, we have correspondence from the church on the 6900 block of Pullman requesting permission to hold a block party.
I think it's a church festival on their property. I'd like to recommend that we approve the festival activities.
I concur. Item W, we have correspondence from Mr. Padilla requesting permission to hold a block party.
That needs to be referred to the police department.
I concur. Item X, we have correspondence from the 5400 block of Chestnut, also requesting a block party in the alley.
That needs to be referred to the police department.
I concur. Item Y, we have correspondence from New Zion Temple requesting to hold a block party for a church festival.
What do you want to do with that? It's a church festival, but I think they are requesting closure of streets. Should that go to the police department too?
I concur. Item Z, we have correspondence from Forest Avenue requesting to hold their block party.
Refer to police department.
I concur. Item 2A, we have several garage sale permits for approval.
I'll recommend that we approve the garage sale permit.
Old business, we have item E, revocation hearing on the license at Star Foods.
How come you skip matters from other board members?
How you guys doing? Apologize for last time, first off, so apologize before we begin. My client is in the process of dissolving his corporation. I did talk to his
Could you
accountant.
state your name for the record?
Oh, yes, Attorney Steve Alvarez. He's in the process of dissolving his corporation. We did talk to Chris about this. If we could maybe get 30 days to allow him to do that. I talked to the accountant, they're in the process of selling everything. Other than that, I don't know what he's doing with it.
Are they open for business?
Mr. President, I had discussions with the other Attorney Alvarez prior to the hearing, or prior to the date last week, but then the facts did not arrive in time, so the board set it for today. So as I'm not going to be available next Thursday's Board of Works, I would have no objection to getting this into August.
So I'll make that recommendation.
Ms. Cantar, is our business revocation license hearing on Star Foods mutually exclusive from Star Foods' application for dissolution of their corporation?
Technically, no. It's,
No.
well,
So one can't happen without the other happening?
no, no, no. By that I meant, Mr. President, they are intending to dissolve the corporation, and then there will no longer be a corporation, which is the entity that applied for a license. However, that license does currently exist with that entity. Once that entity ceases to exist, the new entity or any new entity would have to seek a new license. Upon the dissolution of that corporation, our business license automatically would terminate because there's no person to hold it, or no entity to hold it.
But at this point, they just have an intention to dissolve the corporation.
From what I,
And that's why we asked Mr. Alvarez to come in here to, because as before, what I say, last week, I was just all hearsay from me. I had nothing to support that.
as far as I know, I don't know the accountant personally, but they're in the process of doing that because obviously they know the fines that could happen, so.
I would still like to have the hearing. I think we owe the residents
Yeah.
of the area and the kids that play in that park.
Yeah, that's fine.
Is 2 weeks sufficient time for you?
Do you have anything at 30 days or no?
You know what, you guys had originally requested,
August something?
yeah, the August 8th date.
Yeah.
Moved it up, so
We do maybe August 15th?
Yeah, that might be better. I think we have a trial August 6th starting, so.
So we're scheduling it for August 15th? That's my recommendation.
I concur.
Thank you, guys.
August 15th. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris.
Is there matters from other board members?
Yeah, we have an agreement to rehabilitate a property at 1531 Brown. And then I also have a request from Open Door Church and Ministries for a festival on their property on Sunday, August 4th. I'd like to recommend that we approve that.
Any new or old business? Public expression, the meeting is open to the public. Anybody wishing to address the board, now is your opportunity to do so.
What are we on?
Public expression.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. President, I have a matter for the board members. I apologize. I was distracted by Officer Gonzalez. No, the new dates. He was requesting that the FOP's family picnic day be allowed to have fireworks.
You can have a licensed operator run the show, so I don't have a problem with it. I'll recommend that we approve.
I concur. Any others for public expression? Now is your opportunity.
I was asking, we signed a rehab agreement for 1531 Brown yesterday.
Yeah, we just approved it.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay,
You must have missed it.
We were talking probably.
Yeah, I didn't hear it either, actually.
okay.
We did it under matters from other board members.
All right, great. We're just going to go above and beyond any minimum standards.
Are you Chris Rhodes?
Yes.
Okay.
Hi. I just wanted to, say everything's going to be great with the property and we'll put it back
Can you
on the
state your
market.
name for the record?
Chris Rhodes.
I typed agreement, but I didn't know what it was like, so now I do.
Okay. All right, thank you.
I'd like to make a recommendation that we adjourn the meeting.